Are you the sales manager for an auto shipping or cargo shipping company and looking to get your team connecting to more live people throughout the day? How would you like to have your team log in the morning and start making calls without having to think about who they're calling and just letting the system feed them leads based off of a pool that you've set up for them? These may be age leads, these may be fresh leads, or a combination of the two. And literally, your agents can be dialing within just a few clicks. Let me show you how easy it can be. Each of your team members will have a PhoneBurner account where they can come in and log in the morning. They'll go to the lead section. They'll load the lead stream that you've set up for them. This is how you're going to deliver your leads to your team. Once they click on the lead stream, they then begin the dial session. That's going to pop up this dial session window. Now, your team shouldn't have to worry about changing any of these settings here because you can configure all of these settings for them in the admin account. So I'm going to go ahead and continue. And one of the great things about PhoneBurner is it works with your existing equipment. It works with your existing computer and your existing phone. All you have to do to get your phone connected to PhoneBurner is make a simple phone call into our system. And so I'm going to do that right now. So hold on while I go ahead and get us connected. All right, so now I'm dialed in. I'm connected. Once again, I'm using my existing phone. So I'm going to talk through my phone like I normally do. I just don't want to hang up my phone because my phone's connected to PhoneBurner, not the contacts that I'm calling. I'm going to use the buttons on the screen to manage my calls, which you're going to see here in just a moment. So let me just rearrange this screen just a little bit. I'm going to move this dial session window over and make it a little larger. And one last thing before we start dialing, I want to point out caller ID. Caller ID is completely configurable. You can set the caller ID to a standard company-wide number, or you can set the caller ID to be individual numbers for each of your reps. However you'd like to have that set up for your team. But now let's go ahead and start dialing. So hit the start dialing button right here. And what you'll notice is the system is going to start feeding me leads from the list. You can see I left this contact voicemail 6. I'm going to leave him voicemail 9 this time. You'll notice I've got several buttons down here, different voicemail buttons. You can create as many voicemail buttons as you need and assign different voicemails to those buttons. So this one is on voicemail 11. Let's click on that voicemail 11 and move on. This one's already received voicemail 11, so I don't want to leave them another voicemail. I'm going to just hit the no answer button and move on. So I'm just going to click the buttons on the screen that make the most sense for the outcomes of the call. If I get somebody live on the phone, I start talking immediately. No pause, no delays, no awkward silence. So let's say Aquaman answers the phone. I'm going to click live answer. I'm going to have my conversation. I'm going to update any of my notes here that I need to update. I can review any of the custom fields that I've got here. When I'm done talking to them, I can hit end this call. Or if I'm ready to transfer this call to a live closing agent, I can hit transfer call. I can choose who I want to transfer it to. The system will put the contact on hold while it calls the sales team agent. Once I connect with the sales agent, I can talk privately with the sales agent to get them up to speed on where we're at with this contact. Once I've got them up to speed, I can merge the calls. Once I merge the calls, I can introduce everybody, and then I can leave the bridge. I can leave that call. They can continue their conversation, all while I can update the notes and I can move on to the next call. So in this particular case, I did a live transfer, so I can click the live transfer button, and then I move on to the next call. I'm on to the next call, but those two are probably still having a call working out all of the shipping details, right? So let's say Green Arrow answers the phone. I click the live answer button. When we're done talking, once again, let's say I don't do a transfer, but I end the call. So this is somebody I didn't transfer. Maybe I set an appointment with them. Within PhoneBurner, as an agent, I have my own calendar so I can create my own appointments and follow-up. So I can click on this actions button right here, click schedule follow-up, and that'll bring up my calendar so I can schedule an appointment. I'm going to go ahead and close out of that. Once I schedule the appointment, I can click the Set Appointment button, which will move that contact into a specific folder in my account to help me keep track of them. So now I'm moving on to the next call. I'm going to say that this contact answered the phone live as well, and I'm going to end the call. I want to talk about this screen just a little bit more before we move on, and I've got one other special treat I want to show you. So as we're working through our contact list, we can update our notes, we can update any details regarding this contact, and even update any of the custom fields. These custom fields are fields that I created for this account. You can create your own custom fields to help you manage your calls and your data. I also want to point out that these dispositions down here are completely customizable. You can create your own custom sets of buttons to help you manage the calls that your team is making. And one thing that I'd like to point out regarding these buttons is every one of these buttons can also trigger an email. You may have noticed that as I've been making these calls, some of these calls have triggered emails. You'll see that 2 emails have been sent as I've been making these calls. Now, a big part of the shipping industry, right, is speed, right? You need to get on the phone with the contacts as soon as they complete a contact form online. If you're working with a lead vendor that's generating leads, or you're generating leads yourself on your own website, you need to get on the phone quickly with those contacts, and PhoneBurner makes it super easy to do that. What I'd like to do right now is I want to show you how it would work if you have real-time leads being delivered into your PhoneBurner account. So I want to give you an example of what it might be like if a lead vendor was posting a lead right now into PhoneBurner. So let me just set the stage here for a second. So let's say there's a contact online named Jeff Osnes, and he is on some website, some lead vendor website, and he's filling out information because he needs to ship a car, right? So the lead vendor captures that information, and you've given that lead vendor the posting instructions to deliver that lead to PhoneBurner, to your PhoneBurner account. I'm going to move this window off the screen for just a moment. Now, when the lead vendor posts that lead to PhoneBurner, it's going to be a simple HTTP post. So I'm going to show you what that's going to look like. They're going to be sending it over, and it's going to look like some long URL here. But just so you can see here, this is a contact that's trying to ship a Tesla. Email address, test43b12e. I know, super exciting, right? Phone number, all of that stuff. That is what's going to get posted. So as soon as the lead vendor posts that to PhoneBurner, they'll get a success letting them know that that lead has just been delivered into PhoneBurner. It's now been delivered to PhoneBurner into our specific lead stream. And what's great about PhoneBurner is that actually gets queued up as the very next phone call. So here, let's say I'm a sales rep. I just finished talking to this particular contact, and I'm ready to start calling another contact. So I come down here and I click on the disposition that makes the most sense for the outcome of the call. Let's say it was an appointment set. So I click on Set Appointment. And look who is the very next call. So what can happen here, and it's actually calling my cell phone now. You can't hear it because it's on mute. But it's actually calling my cell phone. I'm going to answer it. You might hear a little bit of an echo here. I'm going to mute that line. But with PhoneBurner, you can literally have contacts fill out a form online through a lead vendor, have that lead delivered to your PhoneBurner account, and have your agent on the phone with them within moments. Depending on how quickly your lead vendor can get that lead delivered to PhoneBurner, you could potentially be talking to the contact while they're on the website still. Can you imagine how amazing that would be and how high your closing ratio would be if you were getting on the phone with contacts moments after they fill out the form? Let's say we miss them and we leave a voicemail, right? Not a problem. This contact will just get recycled, go back into the list to be called again once everybody else has been called. So depending on how many agents you have and how many leads you have in your pool, you can be calling through your list 3, 4, 5 times a day. We can also change that recycle time. So if you want to have those contacts come back into the queue quicker, we can do that. Or you want to make sure there's 2 or 3 hours between calls, we can do that. Maybe you want to make sure there's a few days in between calls. So now you've seen how easy and amazing it can be for your agents, so they can literally just log in and start making calls, and the system just feeds them leads all day long. They don't even have to think about it. They're just making calls all day long. So let's go ahead and close out of this, and I'm going to end this session. Now what you're looking at is your admin account. This is your admin portal where you get to manage the magic of PhoneBurner, right? So what I want to show you real quick before we wrap up, and I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, but I want to show you something really awesome. I think you're really going to appreciate this. We have a reporting system built into PhoneBurner, so you can build custom reports, and I'm going to load a custom report here. This is showing all of the activity for my team so far today. It's showing today's date range. But this is what's really cool. We can launch this real-time leaderboard. This is a dashboard that you can have up and running throughout the day. It's just a separate tab that you can have up on your screen. You can even throw it up on the big screen. And you'll be able to see how your team is doing in real time. So you can see who is leading any moment throughout the day. So here you can see that Tiffany New is now the leader. She's leading with average talk time. Anyway, once again, I appreciate you taking time to watch this quick little video. I really believe PhoneBurner can help you double or triple, if not quadruple, your sales with your shipping company. Let us help you get more done. Visit PhoneBurner.com, sign up for your free trial, and let us help you get everything set up so that you can start making calls today and get your team closing more deals, shipping more cars. Thanks again, and happy dialing.